Hi, I decided to call it Alchemy of the Mountain Path. And we're gonna try to, because I didn't know what else to call it, okay? Preferably like a different kind of archetype. So I've already done one of play. I was pondering last night on what the difference between and what trust and belief. Also, this it's mixed drink Monday part two. The, oh, mixed drink Monday part Tuesday. There you go. It was right in front of me. So yes, I think it would be something like trust, and that, like, let's say that there's who's going, someone who's done something that you have no personal basis to like relate to them. Like if someone's like, yeah, I ran a marathon and you've never even like jogged, you know what I mean? Like there's no personal basis, but it's not that you don't, but others experience outside of oneself. And an understanding and inner circle to make it centered around the self and one's own knowing, understanding, and experiences. But the LLP LLC energy, the limited liability of the LLP LLC, like the mountain pass could have difference. Specifically, the part when I was like, when it comes to working with spirits or getting information out there, and it's a whole bunch of half information and personal accounts. And not that there's anything wrong with personal accounts, but if something is a personal account, at least in my mind, that's not necessarily reflective of someone or something as a whole, right? Like, let's say that you have, like, there's a friend that you have who is like known to be exceptionally like mean. And you go, well, like they're nice to me. And it's like, well, yeah, they're nice to you. Like that shit is different and they're nice to you. But overall, as a whole, if I were to go to that person, they wouldn't be as nice to me because I don't have that same relationship with them. You know what I mean? Anyway, but it could be extrapolated to like business partners or something like that because you don't know what kind of business choices and decisions your partner is going to make, right? And just because there are things that you would never do, like professionally, doesn't mean that there aren't things that they would do, like bribe somebody or whatever. The maiden came out with the ring. Ooh, the maiden in the ring. Interesting. That's like giving. It's funny. One of my friends just posted about promise rings, but it's given like promise ring types. But anyway, that's a different application or interpretation of it that I thought of earlier. So yes, let's see. I found my glasses like 2 minutes ago, or technically like 6 minutes ago. Alchemy of I would love a thing. That's not agave came out. I'm not doing one of those. One of the last 8 cards. Non-eligible. Those cards are non-eligible for this. So I'm gonna give it 2 more. If it comes out, I'm gonna flip. Oh, so we get a type of person. Oh, that's too many. Too many. The mystic, the mentor, gnosis, and the vessel. Oh, the mystic, the mentor, gnosis, and the vessel all came out. Any cards that come out, I'm just going to set them to the side. One card. The flame. Okay. Play of the flame. Interesting. Well, like flames illuminate. This. I feel like the flame is about. There's a part of the flame that's about the wick burns and the wax melts, and burning of the wick and the melting of the wax is what produces It's what's at number 51, which is the reverse of the 15 that we saw yesterday. Ooh, down. Acrobat. Ooh, okay. I want to put the acrobat back in the deck, but it came out. Solitariness, desert, and ignition fire. That's funny. Fire. Hey, how you doing? I do. Random noises, random noises. Random noise, random noise, random noise, random singing, random noise. Hello. Oh, it's just me. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay. It's just going to be what it is today. I would suggest frustrating, teariness and fire for the flame. Solitariness, desert. Oh, this is going to challenge me today, huh? This is 13 and 8 numbers. This is almost giving Vision Quest. No problem. Yeah, that's how I was like. It's understandable. Eight is the no, 9 is the hermit. I do that every now and then. It's almost giving like a hermit type energy. Like this would be a kind of internal illumination. The alchemy of the flame is almost one that's about reflection. Let's get one more. Fecundity Rain is at the bottom of the deck. One more elemental oracle card, please. There we go. Storms, cleansing, and light sun is at the bottom of the deck. Excuse me. Great ball of fire. See, this is the storm that brings the rain to the desert, almost like in holes. After the conditions were fulfilled, number 23. After the conditions were fulfilled of Stanley carrying Zero up the mountain, it's like it rained in the desert. Ignition and then rain. Yeah. So the alchemy of the flame is to provide illumination in an area in which there is something almost held back, stalled. Or it's giving like chain reaction. Like if there's a chemical reaction, the flame like kickstarts the reaction, and then maybe there's like a series of reactions. But it feels like the melting of the wax in the wick, it feels like an internal sort of review. And then there's something that's illuminated within self that causes, hey David, how you doing? Something illuminated within self that causes a change in the conditioning, a change in conditions outside of the self. I don't know what deck I have that could give more context to this. It's almost what's the like a deck of illumination? I don't have that one anymore. Gave that one away. I gifted that deck. Like this flame would be in an area where it's very like Goob from Meet the Robinsons. It's like because of something that we believe, we perceive the world in a way that is very different than what the reality of the world is. And so the illumination of this flame helps us see things as they are. And you like it brings water to the desert. So, and this is, it's like it's not an area that's meant to be dry. So the Clarity Tarot by name, but I'm not going to use the Clarity Tarot again. I kind of want to use the, is it New World Tarot? Next World Tarot? Ooh. Bloop, 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 bloop. Can you make it easier for me to understand? Copyright, copyright. I don't know the rights to that song. Is it this time? No. I already forgot. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I already forgot what that I was looking for, but then I maybe. I'm not quite sure where this deck is. Oh, is this it? I think this is it. Yes. Next World Tarot. I think this is what. I guess that's it. I don't know. I guess I could use the Pride Tarot. Because Next World and Pride, I think, yeah, Christy C. Road. The Pride Tarot is a collaboration deck. Excuse me. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. Let's see if I'm glad to be caught. Hope it's a good one today. Yeah, Christy C. Rowe did a few of the cards in the, I think she did the World card and another one, I don't remember. These cards are huge. Maybe the Hierophant. We'll see. 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 Happy Pride. I almost did a reading in my closet. Not this closet, but my other closet. It hasn't happened yet. It might. It may not. Who knows? It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I should probably just go to bed. Ooh, suspension. And the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. 7 of Wands in suspension. Yep, the World. She did the World card. I mentioned a deck that I gifted. This is a deck that I was gifted. The Queen of Swords in the World. The Throne of Truth. Not a shirt that says limp wrist. The 9 of Wands. I kind of love this 9 of Wands card, honestly. Was that a 30? All right. Oh, this deck is huge. I'm going to pull the 13th, 8th, and 23rd cards in that order, and we'll just see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Cool. Bottom of the deck is the 6 of Pentacles, redistribution. Redistribution is interesting. It doesn't feel too far off, though. Like redistributing energy. But it's more like reassigning, because of the illumination of the flame. It's reassigning meanings or redefining. It redefines certain things. And because of those redefinitions, it's like it causes different things to manifest. But it's not like manifesting. It leads to different pathways. Yeah, different perceptions. It's like before, when someone would say this, like, let's say that someone doesn't view themselves as like beautiful or whatever. And so before, when someone would say, oh my gosh, like, you're so pretty, you're so gorgeous, you're so beautiful, they would think that they were like being like lied to. And it put them on the defense. And so it caused them to like not trust those people. But in the recontextualization, like if someone was to learn that like they are beautiful, then it's like it leads to different sort of interactions. You know what I mean? And that kind of sort of came up before. I talked about it in terms of, I think, like apples or something like that. Because I was like, we're not going to go there with this today. I think it was like someone tells you that you're allergic to apples. And then you're like, oh my gosh, why would you feed me an apple? Why would you give me apple pie? You know that I'm allergic. Are you trying to kill me? And it's like, but no, you're not. I think also this is very conservation of mass and energy. What's lost in the flame. It's almost like something, almost like equivalent exchange. But in redistribution, it's like there isn't anything more that's needed. It just requires a frame shift or a rework. So under the desert, solitariness is the fool. Air, Aquarius, Saturn. I'm looking in the fool. I see a whole bunch of stuff. Honestly, it's kind of a lot. So someone wrote nowhere over Yonkers. Oh, look, this person is all alone for solitariness. See, again, like the nowhere being written over Yonkers, it's very like it's not supposed to be a desert. Whatever is here, it's not supposed to be. But because of what we think or because of what we believe, like this, it is as we believe it to be, not as it's supposed to be. Like it's not supposed to be dry and solitary and for the most part void of life. It's meant to be lush and beautiful and very fecund and abundant. We saw fecundity rain at the bottom. Clarifying fire ignition is the page of wands, the home of fire. That's hilarious. I love that it's the home of fire and it's literally like fire ignition. Cool. And this is a bridge. I love that it's a bridge because that shows like something connecting to another thing. There's also a bunch of little lizards, geckos, probably salamanders because it's the page of wands. What's interesting about this page of wands, though, is that it's blooming at the bottom of the wand. Usually it's like at the top of the wand. It's like something sprouting out, but it's coming from the bottom. One, two, three, four. I see four salamanders and a bird, I think. A cup of tea. Maybe maybe you'll find that you weren't some people's cup of tea, but you are other people's cups of tea. Maybe some things weren't your cup of tea, but anyway. There still isn't, I don't know what this, like I pulled the cards face down, so I don't know what this third card is going to be. But there still isn't anyone else in this card. But we can see that, like, they've crossed some kind of bridge, or they're in front of some kind of bridge. I think this bridge is it's an openness too. It's very, transitory. Like it's in the middle. It's as something is transitioning. It's very transitional. And at this point, it doesn't necessarily yet feel like someone is seeing themselves in a different way, but they're no longer questioning or no longer automatically discrediting like the things that someone has said. Um, oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I don't. There are the last card is the lovers, and I'm like, there's two people. Oh my gosh, thank you. Because again, like we started with solitariness in the desert in an area where it felt like it wasn't supposed to be solitary. And because something is, or because something is or appears to be what it isn't, it convinces us that it is. We are convinced that something is not what it is, and we're convinced that it is what it is not. Now, the last card is the lovers, and I'm going to hold it like this. I'm like, my attention is drawn to this over here, to this lamp. Like, it feels like it's supposed to be around a fountain. I think in the Ace of Cups and the vice versa, I think there's, it's not Scylla. Am I going to have to pull the vice versa? That's around the Ace of Cups, but it's like there's no fountain. It's just the fixture. Hello, cats or cats. I would think that you may be cuter, but I'm not sure. I could be very wrong. Very, 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 very wrong. I also love that, like, she's stepping outside of the mirror. Like, you are okay. I guessed right. Welcome back. How you been? I think the school year should be over, right? Happy summer? Question mark or happy impending summer? Um, she's stepping outside of the mirror. What is this? What is she holding? Are these like measuring cups? It is summer break. Hey, happy summer break. I hope the school year went well. Yeah, I think the flame is pretty self-explanatory. The alchemy of the flame is to illuminate something, but the flame, like, it requires fuel. So there's something that's sacrificed for illumination. Now, within the context of this, the thing that burns or the thing that is sacrificed is like a misconception or a certain way of thinking. Our preconceptions are burned away as something else is illuminated, which is again like pretty, like there's nothing um mind blowing or there's nothing out of place. There's nothing amiss here. I think that's it. I mean, I don't have to make this a 3-hour video. I say that every time. But I really feel like that's it. Redistribution of light. Oh, look. Light is 6. The sun is 6, and the 6 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, I didn't even catch that. I didn't even catch that. And 51 is another 6. Oh, and look, there are 2 people on the sun card. Is that our lovers? The lovers is number 6. There's another 6. I mean, I'm not monetized. I don't monetize anything on this channel, so I'm not going to get demonetized if I show this card. There's the card. I do, again, like, I love that she's stepping outside of the mirror because it's less of what someone like thinks. And it's more about, like, I can see this as I can see it as related to the mountain pass, because it is about seeing something as it is rather than seeing it as we perceive it, because there's some kind of misconception or some kind of belief that we carry that prevents us from seeing it, that makes it difficult for us to see something as it is. Like when we assume, or when we approach everything as a mirror, when we look at the world through the lens of commonality, there are some things that it could be like very difficult to see. If something is very unlike us, it could be nearly impossible to see it if we only see the things that we see within ourselves, or if we're only capable of seeing what is within ourselves. Like there's a whole world. There's a lot to creation, you know? Anyway. That's why I feel like it's stepping outside of the mirror. But yeah, I guess I'll get final cards. I really don't think I have to push this one out like super far. Also, like if it's dark in the mountain pass, I'm assuming there's no light in the mountain pass, right? And so if you carry like a torch through the mountain, like you carry a flame, some kind of flame typically through the mountain pass, if you're not just going in blind. So that's why I'm not surprised that these two are so, why there is an interplay between these two, because you carry the flame through the mountain pass. Oops. And even if like you aren't your cup of tea, like yes, self-love, but when it comes to like attraction to other people, like if you aren't your cup of tea, doesn't mean that you're not someone else's. So even if there is something about you that you're like, oh, well, I wouldn't date somebody like this, or I wouldn't invest in somebody like this, and this is how I am. It doesn't mean that someone else wouldn't, especially if you are more of the compliment type rather than the copy type. I don't know how else to say it without being whatever. But like if you look for opportunities, partnerships, relationships that complement you, then you're not necessarily looking for your duplicate. You know what I mean? And some people are looking for something that is exactly like them. It's neither one is right or wrong or bad, but it's like if you are the type of person that's looking for something or attracted to things that are different than you, then it's already like, it's just like, keep that in mind. That means that there's someone who is unlike you that may be looking for someone like you. And so it doesn't do yourself any favors to be like, oh, well, like that person can't like me because I'm like this and like this and like whatever. And it's like, well, like, let's say that you're an introvert and you're attracted to extroverts because you want to be in environments that bring you out of your shell, but you may like struggle. Then like your introversion, and like vice versa. Let's say that like someone is an extrovert and they're looking for like introverted environments because there are certain things that when they're in their extroverted mode, they aren't capable of doing, or it makes it difficult to do. Like, let's say they love being in groups and crowds of people, but they also appreciate deep, meaningful interaction. And it's not that you can't have deep interactions with a multitude of people, but it's almost like you sacrifice for depth in breadth. You know what I mean? Well, look, the Ace of Wands, the Roots of Fire with the Teacher. The Emperor is the teacher in this deck. Cool. Then it's like, you're not going to be like, then it's like, give yourself grace. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, this person may not like me because I'm not exactly like them. And it's like, there are some people who are looking for carbon copies, and there are some people who are not. And even when it comes to like jobs and stuff, there are some companies that really embrace differences of backgrounds, experiences, and opinions because of the breadth of experience that comes to the table, rather than hiring the same person in like 5 different suits. You know what I mean? If it's a super specialized company, then maybe that's beneficial. But if it's a company that aims to address an array of peoples, then it would maybe be more beneficial to have an array of people instead. So basically, it doesn't always serve to compare yourself to others. No problem. Wow, I'm like proud of me. Let's see if I can get these final cards in like 10 minutes. Because the video is not over yet. This could still be 3 hours long. Oceans, Bravery came out with Attraction, Magnetism at the bottom of the deck. 373, 3073, 3037. Like, I feel like this high key follows, this is like in line with everything that I was just sort of like saying. This is someone who could be attracting an experience that is very unlike anything that they've ever experienced before. And so it requires bravery in order to meet whatever that person is attracted. Like if you are one of those quantum leap type people. See you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something yummy. That is not the book. But yeah, it's like if you are the quantum leap type person, and like, let's say that you have never traveled outside of the country that you live in, but you are manifesting like a trip to like 10 different countries. You're probably going to be outside of your, I guess, depending on where you go, you're probably going to be outside of your comfort zone. And so that's why sometimes when we're manifesting something big or something different or something outside of our usual, our norm, or something that we've never experienced before, we're also sometimes when we manifest those things, there's a certain level of courage, bravery, and full full-heartedness. Is that the word? Like foolhardiness? That's required because it's so far outside of our experience. You know what I mean? So like, just, I don't know, be mindful of that. I think sometimes we kind of forget, you know, or sometimes because we haven't been offered or because we haven't come in contact with the thing, it may, like, we have, again, like a certain perception of it, but it may be a little bit more than we thought, or like actually doing whatever may be a little bit more than we thought. And so, yeah, it just requires a little bravery. Also, to see things as they are sometimes requires a little bravery too. To face one's own, even if things are much better than we fear them to be, we still have to face our fear in order to find that out, right? Like if we have a fear of rejection and we think we're going to be rejected, even if we're not rejected, we still have to face the fear of rejection to put ourselves out there. You know what I mean? Ooh, interesting. The mirror. Number 68. Bottom of the deck is the animal. Number 19. I'm just an animal. The mirror and the animal, actually, it's giving me duality dichotomy. It's like the man looks into the mirror and sees the animal, and vice versa. And I don't know if that's more so hyper fixating. Like, let's say it's like it's related to us putting ourselves out there in whatever capacity, be it platonic, romantic, professional, familial, whatever. It's like if it comes to putting ourselves out there, if we were to look in the mirror, we almost see the vulnerable parts of ourselves. It becomes a lot easier to focus purely on the vulnerable parts, or to focus on like why things may not work out, to almost like nitpick the self and to overlook like all of the positive, beneficial, all of the good things. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, there's it's not a meme, but it's very, there's the picture of like the cat that looks in the mirror and sees like a lion or something like that. Like, I don't know what that is. It's not a meme, but it's the pre-meme meme. But it's almost like the lion looks in the mirror and sees the little kitty cat. And it's like, oh. But again, it's just like, it's to be aware of that, to be aware of our precognitions as we put ourselves out there or as we go for something new. The Lovers and the Page of Wands at the cut. I put these back in the deck. The Moon and the Lovers in like random order. The Teacher and the Moon. Maybe sometimes like that's how we learn. And then the Teacher and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I think it's like that's how we learn sometimes. Or that's how our horizons expand. It's just like how our comfort zones expand. We do things that we're uncomfortable with, and eventually we become more and more comfortable with them, to the point where what was outside of our comfort zone becomes our comfort zone. It's like as we expand out, things come into our comfort zone, and then they're within the realm of mindless capability. Mindless capability, like we know that we can do it and we don't have to think about it. You know what I mean? Like riding a bike. After you learn to ride a bike, and after you ride a bike so many times, you don't even have to think about everything that you did when you were learning, like balancing and this and that. So, final card from the Next World Tarot, please. Under an hour. Come on, let's go. Woo-hoo. All right, I'm gonna get one more, and then I'll just pull the top card. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands, the Throne of Determination. I've seen this Queen of Wands before. Like, she just looks familiar. The King of Cups, the Throne of Movement. The Throne of Movement and the Throne of Determination. The Throne, and then the Six of Pentacles redistribution again. Redistributing between movement and determination. This Queen of Wands is very interesting to me because she's like different. Remember the Page of Wands, how it was like sprouting at the bottom? It's like this tree, or these trees, are the wand of this Queen of Wands. Like, that's how healthy they've grown. The two of these together, the thrones of determination and movement, again, it's that like as we expand outwards and as things that were like just a dream or uncomfortable become our experience and become things that we're capable of doing without much thought. It's just like something that may have required a lot of effort at one time becoming so effortless and easy. So, bottom of the deck. Oh, it was the King of Cups and redistribution, the Six of Pentacles. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Things are redistributed between what requires a lot and what is like easy. It's like it takes less and less effort the more we get used to doing something. Cool. So, I hope you all have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment with all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and what you find. And I hope that you allow yourself the opportunity to face your fears and learn the truth. Because it's not always as bad as we think it may be. And because we don't always necessarily know what it is that someone else is looking for. Be that someone like organization or whatever. Yeah. So thank you all for being here. Bye.